And finally, financial management. Our budget forecasting and curriculum planning tools give school leaders full financial visibility, helping them prioritise investments, adapt quickly, and manage the rising costs with confidence. Coupled with this is Access Education Purchasing, which is a leading accounts payable automation solution, allowing schools to streamline invoice processing, reduce manual admin, and gain real-time control over spending. Finance team can automate approvals, digitise receipts, and ensure compliance whilst saving time and reducing errors.
Welcome to the future of financial budgeting for schools with Access Education Budgets, ICFP, the integrated curriculum financial planning software designed to streamline your budgeting process and enhance educational outcomes. ICFP is easily accessible directly from Access Evo. Whether you're managing multiple schools or a single establishment, our intuitive interface allows you to switch between different instances seamlessly. Create and manage multiple resource plans effortlessly. Our system is designed to handle various budget scenarios, giving you the flexibility to plan and allocate resources efficiently. Switch between open and closed budget years with ease. View and upgrade resource plans from previous years, ensuring your financial planning is always up to date. Stay informed with our comprehensive overview page. Monitor key metrics such as pupil-teacher ratio and revenue spent on teachers, with clear distinctions between what the metrics look like based on your budget, your curriculum plan, as well as highlighting the most affordable value for the metric. Customize your plans with ease. Edit plan names, add notes, and define timetable details, including periods per cycle and contact non-contact time, tailored to your school's needs, adaptable to both primary and secondary school environments. Set up your curriculum elements with precision. Specify pupil numbers, periods, groups, and support staff requirements, and calculate average group sizes. Manage teaching and non-teaching deployments for staff members, with real-time adjustments for over-deployed staff. Evaluate staffing changes effectively by excluding staff from the resource plan. See real-time updates to your metrics, ensuring informed decision-making. Export your data effortlessly. Generate CSV or Excel files for further analysis, with clear indicators showing linked scenarios and last import dates. Model different scenarios with ease. Copy resource plans and compare multiple plans side by side to see the impact on metrics and visualizations. Experience the power of ICFP and transform your school's financial planning.
In this video, we're going to demonstrate the ease and efficiencies of using Access Education Budget alongside Budget's ICFP. This highlights the integration and movement of data within one solution to ensure accurate and timely information to aid strategic decision making on your curriculum resource plan and budget forecasting. There are 7 key areas that will benefit the integration between Education Budgets and Education Budgets ICFP. These are, firstly, when you create a new resource plan, this is a seamless import of budget scenario into the newly formed or newly created new resource plan. Secondly, you're then able to upgrade the previous year's resource plan and then update it with the current scenario plan. This obviously means then we've got the seamless import of a new financial year budget scenario, but also using the data from an already created resource plan that we can obviously upgrade and bring that into the current year and obviously looking into the future. Thirdly, we can obviously re-import scenario data. So any reforecasting that we're doing in the budgeting scenarios, if we want to actually import that into a current created resource plan, it means that we can use that to either copy or re-import that scenario data, and it gives us the opportunity to see real life data and the impact of those staffing changes on the curriculum plan. Fourthly, we can obviously copy a resource plan, so using the resource plan information and actually re-import in a different scenario. So this means we can do comparison, reporting management, and it obviously gives us the what if this happens and what if that happens as well. So it gives you that uniform decision of doing that scenario planning, both on the budget side and also the resource plan, to look at the impact on the classroom. So looking at the 5th option here is obviously looking at all the staffing and contract data. So we know that by actually importing this information in, we've got an accurate position based on our budgeting scenario. And this also includes vacancies to support and model the resource plan information. I think the key one here also is obviously once we put all this data in here, we've obviously got the reporting and analytics. It means that as soon as we make any changes within the budgets or ICFP, these changes are always reflected in the reporting and all the analytics information to either look at them on screen or export them into the relevant format that's required. And lastly, budgets and budgets ICFP. These can actually both be opened up simultaneously with regards to single sign-on. So it means that we can have both of these options open, and it means we can actually be inputting and looking at the curriculum resource plan all at the same time. So it gives us that key information and obviously how we can analyse it looking at the screen. So let's now take those slides and then put them into the actual software and into the real world, and how easy that integration works from budgets into ICFP. So the first area I'm going to concentrate on here is the create plan. So when we create the plan in the first instance, all we need to do is click on the add button. And when we're presented with this, we can then click on the create new. And at this point, we will then be asked for the budget scenario. Once we've selected the budget scenario, that will then ask us for a resource name. And within that resource, we can then effectively add in some of the preset contact codes and non-contact codes. And once we've then completed that, we're now going to extract that data from the budget scenario immediately and obviously click on the create plan, and that will then go away and create that plan successfully. So within here on the next step, we've obviously got the next stage, which is the upgrade existing plans from previous financial years. So again, within that same area, we then have the ability to then come into the upgrade existing plan. And you can see here we're actually amalgamating all this data that's already been created in these different areas. So once we've got that, we've obviously got the first instance where we can create or select the resource plan from the previous financial year. And at the same time, we then have the budget scenario in the current financial year that we would then want to select. Once that's been completed, we then have the ability to then upgrade that plan, and that's now amalgamates that data from previous curriculum plans with the current latest data. Re-importing scenario data, so any changes that are made in a budget forecast and you want to re-import that data to obviously keep everything up to date. To the right hand side of a resource plan, we can click on the right hand side, and within those menu options we then have the re-import scenario data. When we click on the re-import scenario data, we then get a warning message. We can then click on that re-import data. You then have the option to copy a resource plan. When we click on the copy resource plan, you will then be presented with some of those options. One of those may be just copy the resource plan, which enables you to then obviously do manual intervention within the curriculum plan. However, for those that want to copy that resource plan with all that curriculum information, but then import a new scenario, it's for within here that we can obviously click on the copy and choose new scenario. We then get presented with the budget scenario in question. Once that's been selected, click on the create copy of a plan, and that's now used and amalgamated that data. So with all your reporting data and analytics, once you go into the resource plan, you'll be presented with an overview of all this information. Again, this is all live data at your fingertips. Within this information, you've got analytics. So with any of these screens, you can obviously right click on them and obviously save image as, and obviously save it to the relevant area on the system. Within all this information, you will also see at the bottom of the screen that you are also presented with curriculum overview. And again, that's data that's being pulled immediately through from the budgeting software. So within this information, you can obviously see the curriculum overview, pupil-teacher ratios, average class size, etc. And also, if you're then looking at the staff spend, all that information is presented with you. That's obviously quite crucial in the decision making from a strategic point of view. So for those users that are using both the resource plan and budget, this gives you the opportunity to have them both open at the same time. So within this screen, you ICFP information open, but at the same time, we do also have the budgeting software open. So this allows you to save data changes to the budgets, and then effectively to the left-hand side, you can then effectively import that in. So it saves you time with that single sign-on process.
So, if you've personally resonated with anything I've just mentioned, or your school is simply feeling a bit of pressure, let's have a conversation. Book a quick consultation with us and see how we can help you retain your students, prove your value, and stay sustainable in 2025 and beyond.